What is Scratch? Scratch is a programming language made by MIT.
Whoa. Wait a second, Matt. There are newcomers here. Welcome, everybody, and it's great to see you. Well, I can't see you, but that's besides the point. With my interest in computer science, I decided to host a few beginner lessons in using Scratch. These are only short snippets of what I'm currently teaching, but if you're interested, I would encourage you, especially those who are in younger grades, to come join and have some fun. But this class is open for anybody who has not learned programming before. And not only that, but it's free. So, if you'd like to join, the link is in the description down below. And without further ado, enjoy the video.
It's a block-based visual programming language. I'll be talking a little bit more about why it's a block-based language. And the best thing about Scratch is that it's perfect for beginners.
So from here, we can see, if you go to scratch.mit.edu, which stands for education, you get to this screen. This is the Scratch website, and this is how you can start making your own coding and code. It should say Scratch, create, explore ideas about the search, and these two icon, and then a sign in or log, sign in, sign up. But if you're already signed in, then it should just have this. So if you have not signed in, I would recommend, signed up, sorry. If you have not signed up, I would recommend doing that soon so you can follow along during class. But once you get to Scratch, we'll be looking at the create. What the explore is you'll be able to see other people's projects. But in the create, once we click into that, you can create your own project. And that's what we're going to be doing. So first, let's get used to this. I would split it up into three components. There is the left side, the middle, and the right side with the cute little cat. On the left side, we have the code, costumes, and sound. The costume is kind of like an animation, so it changes their kind of like position, and you can, if you change costumes fast enough, it looks like it's just walking around. And if we go to sound, I think this is, you can create your own sound. That's loud. I keep forgetting. But you can create your own sound, and you can use that in your program. But today we're going to be looking a little more into code. So in the code, these are the blocks. Remember when I said that Scratch was a block-based language? That means instead of typing everything, which can be very hard to remember, everything is already in here, and all you have to do is click, hold, and drag. And here it is. This is, you already created a type of code. Well, and then these are all the other different sections of the code. But today, we'll be talking mainly about we'll be using this, and only motion. We're only going to look at what most of these things do here. Moving on, as this is the place for the middle section, which is the place for where you can put your code, combine things, and change. This is where if you have things here and you run it, so if you like, and it runs, then it will start creating the code. The next section is the right section. There are two parts here. One part is this is the stage. The stage is where your characters are, and then whenever you run the code, does anybody have a question? Okay, looks like that was accidental. And as always, if you have any questions, please ask. Because this can be confusing. When I first learned this, I was also very confused. All right. So moving on, this is known as the stage. So it has your your character, which it can move around, and and that's where it can interact with your code. And the bottom section is your sprites. So what is a sprite? A sprite is a character. So like the mouse not a mouse, the cat that we have right now. This is a character, or in Scratch, it's known as a sprite. In sprites, we can create our own sprite by going here and choosing something like have a walking bear, or we can paint our own sprite. Not the best drawer, so it's probably not a good idea, but you can click the paintbrush and draw. There you go. That's our new sprite. So this is the sprite section. Unfortunately, that was a good drawing, but I have to delete it because we're only going to be looking at the cat today. Alright, looks like we have a question or something. Cool. Yeah, this is cool. It's like putting your artistic skills to use. Oh, we got an oof. Why is there an oof? My drawing wasn't that bad, was it? I think I'm a pretty good drawer myself, if I say so. But we're going to be looking at the motion section. Oh, first, before I move on, what was it? Was my drawing that bad? Oh. No, I guess so. I'm sorry. But before I move on, does anybody have any questions? Might be asking, oh, what, if you have any questions about this section, middle section, or other things that we can use, like what is this? Give me lots of suggestions on what to ask. But this section, okay, I'll explain it anyways. This is also the stage, and these are the backgrounds. So that means you can add like here a basketball too, and there you go. Now the Scratch, now your cat, or I call it Scratch. We haven't named him. If you guys want to name him, you guys should put it in the comments, like what to name him. I'm gonna name him. What's a good name for a cat? Cat. It's a good name, I think. But if you have any suggestions on what to name our cat, who will we be using to test our programs, you should put it in the chat. But now, does anybody else have any questions before I move on? No. Okay, great. Okay, I guess we have a basketball court on with our cat now. That's pretty cool. All right, but moving on, we can talk about motion. Going back here. So I'm gonna need this. This is the only block where you need that's not part of motion, but everything else will be. Stage select and cat. There you go. This is the only block you need that's not in the motion section. But I'm gonna try to drag a bunch of motion pieces here. First of all, does people know what motion? Does everybody know what motion means? I don't want to explain something when they don't know what this topic means. Motion is movement. Nice. That's a good noun for it. Yeah, motion is just movement. It's like when you're walking, that's a motion. If you're moving, then it's motion. So I'm gonna put a bunch of motion pieces onto the board, and I'm gonna point to one, and why don't you guys try to tell me what you think it means? So like here, point in direction 90. What do you guys think that would mean? When I actually before we start, sorry. What do you think this block means? The hint is just to read it out loud. This is very simple. Does anybody have any guesses? What does this block of code do? Does nobody really know? Oh. It looks like Derek responded with a Scratch project. I wonder what that does. Oh, is this something you made? We can check it out later after I finish this. I will actually give you guys a few minutes to work on a project of your own. But first, I wonder what this does. Well, if you read it out loud, when green flag is clicked, that's what it is. Yeah, it does something like if you want to point in, so whenever you click this green flag, it will activate that. So when green flag is clicked, do something. So like I think everybody would know what this means. It just means move 3 steps. Like you just walk 3 steps. So when the green flag is clicked, move 3 steps. So if we click it, we should see the cat move a few steps. And when you click it repeatedly, look, he's moving. Isn't that cool? But maybe you don't want to click that many times. My finger is really tired from clicking. So instead of 3 steps, why don't we do 10 steps? We drag him back. He's now moving at a faster pace already. Nice. Now, that was the move 10 block. It looks like Derek has given us a suggestion. The repeat forever block. And I won't go too much into this, but it's in the control section, and it's this block. What this does is, if you put I think this is pretty simple, and if it isn't, it's alright. But what it means is that anything inside of this, like it's sandwiched in between, anything inside, it would do that over and over and over, like this. Remember when I was clicking that button like all the time to get it to move 10 steps? If we click it once, it automatically moves 10 steps each time. And if we drag it back, it's still moving. So what this does is that as long as you don't stop it, it will keep on moving. It will keep on going 10 steps in that one direction. Okay, now that we have looked into 3 new cool blocks, why don't I get somebody to try to explain what this block does? The point in direction 90. Any guesses?
Turn the cat to 90 degrees angle.
Ooh, close. This is the turn the cat to. Oh, actually, I think what you're trying to say was actually correct. Yeah, it would put them it would make them look in the 90 degrees. Yeah. So what Derek and I think I can see who said it, but I think it was Mason said. It makes them face and point at the 90 degrees. And in this case, let me grab another green flag. If you run it, they're already facing 90 degrees, so it doesn't do anything. But if you change it to like 180, and then you run it, look, they point down now. And you can also change it to any degrees. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to. Whoops, oh, he's gone. I can't get him. That's not good. I can get him back. There we go. He's here. Alright, but that's it for today's class. Thank you for coming. And I hope I can see you next week as well.